Cellular memory is the theory that cells within an organ carry the memories and desires of the person to whom they belonged. "47-year-old Claire Sylvia was the first person in New England to undergo a heart and lung transplant that would save her life. However, she is convinced that the life-saving organs came with some of the donor's personal taste preferences as well as some strange dreams. Claire had told a reporter when asked what she wanted to do first after her operation that she was dying for a beer right now, even though she had previously never cared for it. Over the next few days, she began to experience cravings for foods she had never liked or even eaten before, such as green peppers, Snickers bars, and McDonald's chicken nuggets. She also began having strange dreams about a thin young man that she believed was called Tim, specifically Tim L. Searching the local obituaries of the days leading up to her transplant, she came across Timothy Lamarand. 18-year-old Timothy Lamarand was killed in a motorcycle accident on the day of Claire's transplant. He was on his way home from a local McDonald's. A bag of chicken nuggets was found in his jacket pocket when doctors removed his clothes in an attempt to save his life. Upon tracking down Tim's family, they confirmed that the cravings she was having were indeed all foods that Tim had enjoyed the most. Claire has remained in touch with Tim's family ever since. Suffering from a heart defect since birth, causing her to have several heart surgeries, by the age of 24, Jamie Sherman had a successful heart transplant. Upon awakening from the surgery, Jamie felt an overwhelming sense of anger, so much so that she wanted to fight, although she didn't know why. She also began to crave Mexican food, specifically cheese enchiladas, which she hadn't craved before. 6 months after her transplant, Jamie met the family of her donor, 29-year-old Scott Phillips. After mentioning her newly acquired cravings for Mexican food, she wasn't surprised to hear that Scott's favorite food was Mexican, particularly cheese enchiladas. She would also come to find out that Scott had died from major brain trauma after hitting his head in a fight at a sports bar. In 2008, 69-year-old Sonny Graham took his own life by shooting himself in the throat. This after receiving a heart transplant in 1995, but what makes this tragedy so interesting is that his donor, Tommy Caudill, had also taken his life in the same exact way. Also interesting is the fact that Sonny had been married to Caudill's wife since 2004 after dating for several years. Sonny, who had reached out to Cheryl a few years following the transplant to express his gratitude, was described as a good man who would gladly help anyone and never showed such dark tendencies. Following a successful liver transplant in 1993, 17-year-old Amy Tippins not only developed a new craving for hamburgers, but also a deep sense of moral and civic duty. She had also seemingly acquired a wide range of new abilities, such as a vast variety of do-it-yourself skills that she was physically able to carry out. Amy managed to arrange a meeting with her donor's family, who turned out to be former U.S. Marshal Mike James. The family had stated that hamburgers were one of his favorite foods, but more importantly, that he had loved to work with his hands and had undertaken several building projects at home prior to his death, as well as his goal in life being to always help and protect people. Dr. Michael Hagen was an ER physician who contracted hepatitis C at work, resulting in a liver transplant in 1999. Following his surgery, Dr. Hagen noticed several odd food cravings, such as avocados and barbecue. Going from never trying an avocado to having one every day, and from only occasionally eating barbecue to it becoming one of his favorite foods. He also became a much more emotional person, crying during nearly every movie he watched. Dr. Hagen would later find out that his donor was a 21-year-old mother named Shamika Jones who had been murdered. He would attend the young woman's trial and form a lasting friendship with her family. He would also learn that Shamika had loved avocados and barbecue and was also very emotional. William Sheridan turned to drawing as a means to take his mind off waiting for a heart donor to become available. But he wasn't really that good. That was until 2016, following his heart transplant, when he noticed his artistic talent had increased dramatically. After meeting the family of his donor, 24-year-old Keith Neville, he discovered that Keith had been a very enthusiastic artist and very good too. He also attributes to Keith him becoming more caring and loving. Before his near-fatal heart attack in 2000, Bill Wohl was your average, everyday businessman, choosing the daily hustle and bustle of the city over connecting with nature. That was until after the heart transplant that saved his life. One day, not long after, a song came on the radio that made him break down in tears for seemingly no reason at all. He couldn't recall ever hearing the song before or even who had sung it, though he would later learn it was a song by British singer Sade. As his health increased, so did Bill's urge to be more active outdoors, getting involved increasingly in challenging activities from cycling to kayaking. Upon meeting his donor's family, Bill would come to find out that he was a Hollywood stuntman named Michael Brady and that Sade was one of his favorite singers.